Alrighty, everybody. Welcome to HHC episode 2. We are live. We are live on Facebook and on Periscope right now. We are here. I am Chris. I'm here with my brother Jake. I'm here with my brother Joshua. Let me get our names up on the screen right there. And we are so excited to be back for our second episode, HHC number 2, Heroes in a Half Court. Thank you, first of all, to everybody who joined and watched our first video that we released about a week and a half ago. We did our preseason expectations and kind of just getting the channel started was kind of the point of that whole video. So anybody who checked that out, thank you. Anybody who followed us on our Twitter account and on our Facebook account, we got a lot of good positivity and good vibes from that first video. So got us real excited to get in here and do that second one. We are in a slightly digital or a different format from the last time, but I think this is going to be more of the look of the show moving forward, and we will keep tweaking it as you see as we move along. Okay, so for today we've arrived, my friends. We are at opening day of the new basketball season. Game day, exactly. Game day, Bala game day, just like it says up top. So we're very excited to kind of get you guys ready for the new year. For this show today, we're just going to be previewing our first matchup of the night or of the season, which happens to be tonight against the Memphis Grizzlies. So we're going to give our thoughts on that, and we'll dive into that a little bit later. Beforehand, we are going to get into some NBA news that kind of touches on the Spurs just a little bit, but we do want to give the opportunity when we get on the mic is to highlight some NBA news that kind of jumps out to us, right? This week, Jake has some stuff that he kind of wants to kind of lead our discussion through, and we will find ways, I'm sure, to tie it back to the Spurs roster and to the Spurs season. So we're going to start with that. Then we're going to shift on over to looking at tonight's game, and then we'll just that'll be it for today. So. I think let's just jump right into it. So first off, we're talking about our preseason, looking back to like our last video. So first off, we went 0-3. I don't know if anybody between the three of us puts that much emphasis on the win-loss. But just thinking more so of like how the team played versus and how they looked versus wins and losses. What were some of your initial thoughts? Let's see, Jake. Let's go ahead and start with you.
Some of my initial thoughts, Devin, he's just a baller. He's already ready to be out there.
Mm-hmm. Mr. wanting Devin Vassell in the starting lineup. Honestly, actually, since the time that we recorded that video and getting onto Twitter and getting introduced to seeing what Spurs Twitter is all about, your take wasn't that controversial actually of having Devin Vassell start. So, so Devin Vassell, what expand?
Well, I mean, it's a lot of what I'm seeing is that he's just ready. Like it's not that like he's better than anybody or anything like that. Like it's just that when he's out there on the court, I get in a sense the feeling that I see when I watch Derek. When I watch Derek, he's out there, he's poised, and he's ready to go. When Devin's out there, I get that same feeling. Like he's not afraid to step up, and when he's out there, he's not making crazy, terrible decisions, and he's just proving that he is ready to be on the court, whether that's being a starter, which I would want, or just coming off the bench for us.
Yeah. I definitely would agree in terms of the sense of the way that you said that it makes you feel like you do when Derek's out there. I mean, obviously we've only seen him in a couple games, and I didn't follow his college career, but he definitely has that poise. But so did like Witherspoon early on too. Like right away, you can just kind of see like the game doesn't it doesn't like fluster him that much, right? He felt pretty comfortable. And especially coming off of last video and you kind of hyping him up a little bit more than like me and Josh did. I was excited from what I saw with him.
Hey, he did like he did stand out. He was a big standout of the 3 games. Out of those 3 games, he stood out the most to me. But like, we'll see how he plays tonight. Like, I want to see him in some meaningful games because I feel like even though, I mean, it's preseason, they're just. I'm not gonna say they're taking the night off or nothing like that, but it's just not the regular season. I want to see him in some tonight. I hope I see him tonight. I hope I see him a lot tonight.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and we I guess, so as of right now it's 4:58. The game is in 2 hours from now. So I would imagine maybe even during the middle of our show we might get the notification of being able to see what tonight's starting lineup is going to look like. So we'll definitely keep our eyes out on the timelines to see if any of that updates, so we can kind of add that to the discussion. And I do see it says we got 5 viewers in here. Again, we are streaming on Facebook and on Twitter today. More news at the end of the show about our future plans for live streaming and all that kind of stuff. But for today, we are on those 2 platforms. So thank you guys for showing up. And if anybody wants to join in on the conversation, go ahead and leave your comments. We should be able to see all of them. So, but yeah, so Devin Vassell tonight, we will be able to see, like you said, some more meaningful minutes from him. But I would agree that he was a standout for me as well, especially because in preseason it's apparent that for the younger you are, the more you kind of have to prove. Like if you're LaMarcus Aldridge, even though he was switching up his play style, and he kind of does have stuff to prove in that regard. But so maybe that's a bad example. But if I'm talking about like Rudy Gay or DeMar DeRozan, they have very small amount of things to show and to prove on preseason.
That's what I said. That's what I'm not saying they're taking off, but those guys already know what they're getting. They're getting ready for the season. They know they're just kind of
exactly. Their vision. They can see farther in terms of NBA.
It's way different than how our rook sees it, because our rook is out there. He's like, damn, I need to put on. That's why I want to see him in these. Like I said, hopefully tonight, man, and hopefully he gets some meaningful minutes and plays just as good as he did in the preseason. If he does that, damn, he's going to be great.
I definitely think it was really promising just to see that he was out there, though, because it just shows that our team is willing to give anybody the chance because they feel like he's ready. And
I mean,
Keldon and Derek were out.
I was gonna say. I think it was more necessity that was why he was out there.
So it's still the fact that I think that if I'm not mistaken, he got around 30 minutes in that last game, and I mean, that at least to me that shows that the team is willing to give him that time instead of just saying, okay, DeMar, you're going to play this amount of time, and
well, I mean,
Rudy,
again, it's preseason. It's preseason. Yeah, so in terms of minutes and all that, that's obviously we'll see for sure today and moving forward beyond today how that's really going to shake out. But I will say Keldon
tonight. Keldon is back tonight.
Yeah. So we were talking about it's the younger guys who have more to prove when it comes to preseason. So it did stick out to me that Keldon Vassell came out with intention, right? And I think it's the reason it stuck out even more to me is because then you on the other hand you got guys like Luka, right, or who he gets in. He gets in.
He didn't play at all, right?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. But think about every single time that Luka has gotten in. No matter what you think about his skill and how he's still adapting to the game, it's that mental image or that mental picture of just showing that not that they want to be out there, because that's the wrong way to think about it, but just the way that the control that of the environment around him, and when Luka comes in, you're just you're waiting for it. It's almost like when you see it's almost sometimes when you see Anthony Davis and you're like, yo, can we just get 30 points from you tonight? I know you can do it. It's super easy for you, right? So it's you feel like you have to bring it out of him, and Luka still you still got to bring it out of Luka. I don't know if we're gonna have to be bringing it out of Vassell, which is a great sign for us, I would think.
Yeah.
All right. So for sure, Vassell is a standout. Josh, is there anything else that stuck out to you in terms of just the preseason, big or small?
No, it's kind of not that I don't look too much into it, but it is preseason, and it just looked like our guys. I mean, we went 0 for 3, right? We didn't win a game, but we just weren't knocking down our shots. We were getting good shots. I love LA. I forget what he shoot 10 3-pointers game 1, right?
Yeah.
Or something like that. He was shooting those threes. I'm hoping as the season goes on, he still takes those and hopefully he starts hitting them. Hopefully he starts knocking them down. Devin looked good from the outside. Hopefully when we get Derek back, I mean, I think we're going to need that. In today's NBA, we need shooters. Ani kind of disappointed me that last game. He didn't really, or I think it was the last game, he didn't take too many shots, right?
Yeah,
But the game before
or
that,
maybe the second one.
I think that game he led us in scoring against Houston, right? And then
Yeah,
the third game against Houston, he didn't do much. So I know he has it in him, and I know he can do it every single night if he wanted to, and I'm hoping that he does. So I'm excited just to get this season going. I want to see what these guys have like in these meaningful games. Lakers are 0-1, so that's pretty good. I watched the Clippers game last night. They look scary good. So and they were talking about it just like we talked about on episode 1. That West is crazy. So we need to win these games. Memphis, like our divisional games, like we need to win these games.
Mm-hmm.
We need to not put ourselves in a hole. So
yeah.
I'm ready to get going tonight. Game 1, hopefully start 1-0. Good minutes from everybody, and yeah, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I agree. I would say same for preseason. My expectations were pretty tempered. So I was just excited to see us back out there. I did like for the most part, the flow that we had. There were still a couple times where you can see our offense kind of revert back to like a little bit of a slower style. And again, hard to put too much thought onto it when our lineups are different. It's just tough.
Yeah.
I mean, like you're gonna have lineups out there with Rudy and Jakob and LA, and it's gonna feel slow at times when you were missing White and Keldon. So I get it, but yeah, I think we look okay for now. But I am interested to see again like that those 10 3-point attempts per game. Like, you know, is that realistically maybe gonna sit around like 6 to 8?
That's what I'm hoping. 6. If he could put up 6, like if he could put up, I guess I would say 8. I would like to throw him 2 a quarter. You know, like that would be ideal for me.
Yeah, because even if he starts to average 3 for 8, even if he goes 3 for 8, the whole, you know, that's 12 points from the outside that we were not getting.
Yeah.
So I definitely I agree with that. So I think I'm right there with you guys. I didn't take the losses too hard. I liked watching a lot of the the little bit of practice videos that we would get. It's a little harder this year with the COVID, like not as many cameras in the locker room in the practice gyms and stuff. But kind of hearing just how they're kind of talking. Lonnie owned up a little bit to that game, saying I didn't really feel like myself. Didn't do the things that I needed to do. He even mentioned still kind of coming back from his back spasms and stuff like that. So yeah. I think a lot of stuff we can kind of shrug off in terms of the preseason, right?
Yeah, and obviously, like, we're talking all this good. The only little nitpick that I had was literally just where like I saw how we were playing in the preseason, or when we didn't have Derek and Keldon. How are we going to be able to fit Derek, Keldon, and Lonnie back into this, like, into the season? Like that game 3, even though yes, it's only preseason, it's not the regular season, it's not where it's going to really matter. But when I saw that first quarter and of our third game, I wasn't too impressed with what I was seeing from Lonnie. And like you said, he already owned up to it, and the back spasms were most likely one of the things that like caused what happened. But like I'm still just a little, I'm not necessarily concerned, but I'm still just waiting to see how we are gonna fit our guards into this.
Keldon's big enough to play the 4. So if LA is having those nights, like, because he was not hitting, I don't think the preseason he shot too well. I mean, I don't quote me on that. I don't think he did either. I don't think he did either. But on those nights whenever other teams go small, I would love to go small with Keldon at the 4, and even if we went like Derek, Lonnie, whoever, DeMar, or DJ, Derek, Lonnie, and Keldon, like that would be great. That's what I would love to see. I mean, we'll see. Right. We'll see as the season goes on what Pop decides, what he has up his sleeve. But I think our guys are gonna fit, especially with Keldon being so versatile. Even Devin, who knows? What if they throw him at the 4? I mean, we never know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, and I'm thinking back to like our in our episode 1 when we gave like our projected lineups. I think Jake's was definitely the smallest. Jake's was definitely the smallest, but after seeing like us play and also kind of seeing a little bit more of the other preseason games and then watching the 2 games last night, like I do think that like the lineups that I gave and even like the lineup that Joshua gave, is probably going to be the ones that you see the least, and there are going to be a lot of those small ball lineups out there this year. And I know that the more that I watch, I'll come around to more of it. My concern just comes from like the defensive end. When I watch a game like last night, and I see still that like LA at one point had Anthony Davis, the Morris twin, they had Gasol out there, and they have LeBron out there, like all at the same time. I'm like, okay, that's a big lineup. Like, you know what I mean? And I understand that everybody's trying to go fast, but it's like, I guess what I'm trying to say is like, do we have the pieces to match up with that lineup for any extended period of time, you know, on the court? You know what I mean? Like, that's the stuff that I get a little bit concerned of when it talks about going so small all the time, you know? So,
true.
But yeah, so, I think we're okay to move past preseason and move on to like what we're really gonna look like. So all right. So before we get into we just wanted to touch base on our preseason for anybody who checked out our first video, kind of see where we went wrong in terms of our lineups and all that kind of stuff. We do want to kind of talk a little bit about some of things that are happening outside of the Spurs, but still in the NBA. So first, Jake wanted to bring up this Bleacher Report article that had just came out. When did it drop? Just within the past couple days, right?
Yeah, it came out a while back.
Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, let me look it up real quick. I'm seeing December 21st.
Yeah. Okay. So it came out a few days ago, and we did 2 days ago. We did have some thoughts on the last list that came out. I think that was the NBA list or the ESPN list.
ESPN list.
But I think we kind of missed most of the discussion on that. But that's okay. So we're gonna jump in real quick. Jake, I'm gonna give you the screen. So if you wanna take us to the top, Jake, go ahead and lead us through the things that you kind of wanted to bring up from this list.
So I just want to preference this and say that like this is a prediction list. So it's not like they're not saying that Jonas Valanciunas is already the 97th best player in the league. They're saying that by the end of this season, he's going to be at 97, whereas last year he was at 67. Real quick, I just want to kind of go over a couple of the Spurs players because they're in this 100 to 50 range, and then we can go into a couple of the more notable ones that I saw. So the first one is Derek White's they're saying that Derek White's gonna be 90 this year, and for me, like the most notable thing is that they have like a player like Tyler Hero is all the way at 77, whereas Derek White's at 90, and while I think Tyler Hero is good, I think that he can become a really good shooter and stuff. If his defense cannot make that big of a jump in however many days from the finals to the end of next season, how is he going to become that much better than a player like Derek White, who is already pretty much complete as a good defender, a good playmaker, and a decent shooter too? I just don't understand where they would put a player like Tyler Hero being 77 and having a player like Derek White at 90.
He's really slept on, right? I was looking at like I can't remember what where it came from, ESPN, Bleacher Report, whatever, but it was a good, bad, and the ugly contract, like the extensions that got signed, right? And I think the three, like the highlighted ones that I saw were like dang, now I can't remember, but I know it was Kyle Kuzma and Derek White, and they were saying that Derek White was the ugliest, like as in his contract was horrible, his extension that he signed. Like a lot of people sleep on that guy, and I know San Antonio, right? Nobody really watches us. We have no national televised games, so they don't see as much as we see, and they sleep on that guy so much, and it's ridiculous. Yeah. Like he's a two-way player. He's great. You saw what he averaged in the bubble. It was close to 20, right? 20 and 5. And he led our team like as far as
so. Go ahead.
No, it's all right. Like I'm just saying, like he was our leader in the bubble at least because he played damn good.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious with this list. Like it says on here, the pre-bubble rank. So pre-bubble they had him at 98. So I'm wondering, like, I don't know, man. I think he played really well in the bubble. Yeah. So I'm wondering, like, what do they think? I guess maybe he's not going to grow that much, maybe from from what they saw already. That's what they're anticipating.
And I can understand that. Like he, how old is Derek? He's 26
He's 20,
going on to
that
27.
was another thing about his contract. They were saying it was bad because he is 26, and they don't think he's going to get better. They're saying that he is what he is right now. I think, and he's barely entering his prime.
But we just locked him up for the next 4 years.
Yeah, something like that.
So that would take him to he's 30 years old.
I think it's 31, right? Because it starts next year.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
So either way, though, I would say when you're 31 years old is when you're really either well, I would say that is, as an NBA player, when you're really entering like the peak of your prime, like 28 through 33, those 5 years. So it's like if we get to see him at 28, 29 emerging into what he's going to be, then I think that even if
that's
let's
perfect.
say
that's a bargain.
Exactly. Even
right?
if he doesn't get as high as we're hoping he's going to get, well, then we're letting him go, or we're restructuring his pay at that age of at his 31, at his 32 years old. I think that's perfect.
That's perfect.
It's either a win for us on the numbers side of it if he doesn't play as good, or it's a win for us on the if he exceeds those expectations.
And you see some of these contracts that are getting thrown around to people that I guess they don't deserve it in my eyes. So like I'm fine. Like I'm happy with what we got him for. Like for this amount of time, that's perfect for us.
Yeah.
I know like the Raptors had just extended OG Anunoby.
OG, right?
OG Anunoby got like $73 million, like a little less than Derek White did. And I feel like at this point in both of their careers, Derek White is probably just doing like that much more than OG Anunoby is right now. At the same time, like if Derek White's going to be doing better than what OG can be, and getting paid around the same amount of money, like that's a bargain. That's good. I don't think people understand that. Like if we didn't extend Derek right now for the $20 million, and we let this season run, and Derek White has another career year, some team's gonna pay that man $26 million, $27 million.
Yeah, they're just saying. I mean, like OG, he's young. He's only like 22, 23 years old.
Yeah.
So by the time they're getting paid what Derek's getting paid, and like Chris said, they're barely going to be entering that 26, 27 years old,
Yeah,
so,
I get that. Okay, yeah. and so I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of move on a little bit, but like I still kind of want to talk about how they have Derek being 90, but they say that DeJounte is going to be, let me try and get it to here. They're saying that DeJounte is going to be 62, and as much as I love DeJounte Murray, at this
Pre-bubble
point,
rank 70.
At this point in his career, Derek White is a better player than DeJounte Murray.
That goes to what I'm saying, Jake. I think these guys are so like DJ is so much younger than Derek.
Yeah,
and potentially he was all NBA 21 years old.
And like for sure. Like potentially DJ could be like an all NBA. I think he has the most potential sides Devin on this team. And like he has like the fact that he's such a great defensive player, he's so athletic, his length is just amazing for being a point guard. Like he has the potential to be really good, but these last couple seasons, like if we're being super realistic, and obviously this has to do with his injury, It's not like he just hasn't panned out for us, but he in my mind he hasn't been able to reach the stardom that every Spurs fan really thought he was going to be. And he still has time. He still has a lot of time to get up to that point. But at this point in his career, he has not gotten to that. And Derek White has shown that much more promise than DJ has, because DJ is just like that much a little more inconsistent than what Derek is. This is a prediction, and I could see why they would predict that DeJounte would have a bigger jump than Derek White would, but I still don't understand why Derek White is 90 while DeJounte is 62.
Yeah, well, they both went up 8 points from their pre-bubble to like how they think they're going to improve, right? Because Derek was 98 to 90, 70 to 62. So 8, they both think that they are going to improve, but I think, Josh is kind of like they have DeJounte starting at such a higher place because of that youth. right?
Yeah, and
Um,
where he can go, like you have to throw that like that's a factor in anything, you know. The youth in the NBA. I mean, it's
Hmm.
a there's so many kids in there now, and those guys are young and those guys are balling. So DJ, what he did so young, like I think he has a potential to go to be even better than he has been. Like if he starts knocking down his jump shots and he starts finishing around the rim, playing the defense that he's playing, dude, that guy is he's worth way more than what we signed him for. That's another good
Oh,
contract that we have on our
yeah.
books.
for
You know,
sure.
because he I can't remember if he signed his contract while he was hurt, like or
Yeah,
right
He was
right
on
before.
his rehab, I think.
yeah.
Yeah, but like dude, that, like we got him like at a bargain rate. Like I say, like I see some of these other contracts and I'm like, what the hell were those guys thinking? But and so I'm excited that we have both these guys locked up. I mean, I'm not gonna say Derek's better than DJ. I'm not gonna say DJ's better than Derek because they're both on my squad. So I'm rooting for both of those guys. I'm we're blessed to have both of them on our
Oh
team. Let's
yeah,
just say
for
that.
sure. I completely agree with that. And it's just like I said, like it's not like I don't agree with everybody when they say that DJ has potential. It's just that like while he does have that potential in my eyes, at this point though, I just haven't seen him make those jumps to reach there. And for the most part, I do think that it has to do with his injury. I think this is his first year back, that he's pretty much 100%. So I'm hoping to see really good things from DJ this year.
Yep,
But
yep.
if this year is nearly the same from last year, if I don't see that much of a jump, then I'm not, I'm gonna be more realistic. I'm not gonna think that he is an all NBA caliber, uh, or really an all star at the highest, really.
Right on.
Moving on though, we have DeMar at 56, which isn't too crazy with how people value the 3 pointer, right? DeMar doesn't shoot threes, so I understand why they would have him this low. But to put DeMar below a player like Karis LeVert, who is 55, they're saying, and you were talking about how Derek and DJ got 8 points. Karis LeVert is getting a 40, like 40
40.
rank. Like they're saying that he's going from 95, the 95th best player in the league, to being better than DeMar DeRozan. And sure, his scoring ability is good. I like Karis LeVert, but like there's no way that
Yeah,
a
that's
mid
kind of
range.
ridiculous to throw him
Yeah,
40 spots up when he's
uh,
playing alongside KD and Kyrie.
exactly. He's going to be getting way less shots. He
Well,
doesn't
well,
even.
is he a six man or is he playing on the starting lineup? I thought he came off the bench yesterday.
He might have come off the bench the last night, but he's still playing in the same backcourt as Spencer Dinwiddie.
Yeah,
Like that means that him and Spencer Dinwiddie have to be sharing those shots,
yeah.
and that
But
doesn't mean
even
that
but
he's
even
going to be a
so,
20 point per game
even
scorer.
like even even if he, I guess maybe they're projecting that he becomes one of those like really good 1-2 punches on a bench unit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because I mean
like the Clippers have, or now
they
LA.
look pretty. Yeah, they like
They did look good.
they look deep. I mean, their two lineups look pretty realized in terms of like their
They
the guys that
smashed
they got out
Golden
there.
State. They
And
Um,
smashed them.
um, but so like right here it says that Levert's not the most consistent finisher and settles for the mid-range jumper too often, but he's wired to drive an offense. Like from what that's saying, like that means that if he's not consistent but he can shoot well and he shoots a midi, well, DeMar is literally a consistent version of that.
yeah,
Like he shoots more consistently
They're, they're,
and he
they're
still
sleeping on
shoots his
DeMar
midi.
too.
Like
They're sleeping on DeMar.
I I just don't I don't know why a player like Karis LeVert would be able to be above DeMar in this ranking right here. Um
Don't pay no mind to these dudes, man.
I mean, yeah, and I think we don't. I don't think we. I think lists are what they're going to be, right?
mhm.
So we're not trying to put too much stock into them, but I think it is good. I think it's good as an early season. You know, we're on day one or technically day two of the NBA, but we're on day two of the new season. It's good to kind of gauge like where did the people see our players, in comparison to the other parts of the league.
And
Yeah.
Um,
at the same time, we are Spurs fans. We're gonna think highly of our players. We're not gonna be like, oh yeah, DeMar's not better than Karis LeVert, but it's still just like fun to figure out, like, yeah, like you said, how the league sees us and how we feel about ourselves can be something too.
Yeah, going off that, we're Spurs fans, and in my mind, seeing what LA has done with us the last couple of years and seeing what DeMar did with us last year and in the bubble, I would rank him above LA.
Yeah, me
Oh
too.
yeah,
Me
like
too.
they have. I'm just looking at it right now too. They have LA higher, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
higher than
so
DeMar. And DeMar,
DeMarcus is at 54. DeMar's
yeah,
at 56. I would totally swap that. I feel
yeah,
like
I
DeMar
would
is a
flip
better
him.
player than LaMarcus now.
Or he's better with in our system. What we need him for? Maybe. I mean, maybe they could do some other things differently elsewhere. But me watching the Spurs day in and day out, like I would say DeMar's better for us right now with what we have. Even though we need big men, you know.
Yeah, and so then, Mike, I guess I kind of want to ask you this. I am a fan of this player. Like, do y'all think that like a player like Miles Turner, who is put right
He's
here at, let me try and find him. I think, if I'm not
Fred
mistaken,
Van
48.
Fleet.
Yeah, y'all think Miles Turner is better than LaMarcus Aldridge?
I don't think Fred Van Fleet should be right there. Let me say that. But
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
He's a
Myers Turner.
24
Myers Turner has always been like. I've always liked that kid. That he was so good, and for a while I'm like, oh, Spurs, go get him, go get him, go get him.
Yeah,
Whenever
I
Indiana was having their little troubles and everything like that, so I don't know. I don't know. I like him. I root for him. So
hmm
I don't
Okay,
got nothing
so
bad to say.
moving on from the Spurs, I think this can be a little bit more debate oriented between us, how we feel about these players. But
Mm-hmm.
one of the most notable things that I saw was that
Sharon Jack there.
this list has Kyrie Irving at 31 and has players like Russell Westbrook, John Morant, uh, Jamal Murray, and Kyle Lowry above Kyrie Irving. Those are all point guards. Y'all think Kyrie Irving
Well, when you say
is that
above,
low?
do you mean they're also in the 30s and the 20s, or are
Yeah,
they
yeah, yeah, yeah.
sniffing?
Like that's 31 to 25 right there. If you need the specific numbers, Kyrie is 31, Russell Westbrook's 30, John Morant's 28, Jamal Murray's 27, and Kyle Lowry's 25.
Dog, I love Russ. I love his motor, and but no, man, no.
I,
I don't think he's better to lead a team in any of those guys.
yeah, I would probably say I would maybe just have Kyrie higher than Westbrook. I'm super high on Jamal Murray.
I'm
He's
not.
he's so
I'm not high on him at all.
he's smart. He's smart. He can shoot. He's got size on him as a point guard. My I've always had a thing for like the Darren Williams, like the
Yeah,
little
coach.
the Chauncey Billups, like the little bit thicker point guard who is smart, knows exactly how to handle the ball, but doesn't need to be faster than you to get to their spots. If anything, they just put you on their back and kind of get to their
Yep.
spots that way.
Andre
So
Miller. Shout out
yeah,
Andre Miller.
yeah, so like Jamal Murray in my opinion fits into that mold, and then watching him as a younger guy beat the Spurs a couple years back, and then watching last year too, man, like them go against Utah
Yeah.
was so fun to watch him and Mitchell go against each other.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I think out of all of those, maybe Kyrie is like second. Just on skill alone, but I think, man, I
No,
think I'm okay with like where a lot of those
I,
lied.
as much as like we're talking about like potential and stuff like that, and I think John Morant could probably be like the best player out of that list of people. I feel like he could be the best player next year, right? Uh, just because he's been making jumps. Like, it already shows that he's gonna be a sophomore. He's gonna make a huge jump from his rookie year, and his rookie year was amazing.
Hmm.
But like
I
Kyrie
mean, that's not
Irving,
how it goes down for everybody. We saw, Michael Carter Williams. He was a big point guard that came in and
Ky-
rookie of the year, and he was great, man.
I
yeah,
thought I thought it was gonna be good too.
Kyrie Irving was in debates to be like the best point guard in the league, or I guess, debates to be the second best point guard because everybody said Steph was the best because he was. But like, Kyrie Irving was always that second best point guard in the league, and all of a sudden
Maybe
he
they're just
doesn't.
throwing him back there because of his injury. He's coming off his shoulder.
But
Yeah.
like his, to say that a player like Kyrie couldn't be the, like, at least a top 5 point guard in the league after, something that wasn't an Achilles injury. It wasn't something that, like, would.
Yeah, and it's not like he's coming back to a crappy situation. He's coming back to a pretty what looks like a pretty polished team already.
Exactly.
And
Like,
Kyrie looked good last night. He looked great.
and and so these guys are like, you obviously, like, we all kind of agreed that for sure we would kind of put Westbrook below him, but like, Ja making that jump, I could see. Jamal Murray, unless I saw him be able to not be as a liability on defense as he is, that team is not that good defensively because Jamal Murray and Jokic just can't defend people. Like,
Yeah, but they had Craig, they had Grant, they had Porter Jr. They had
Porter
so
Jr.'s
many.
not that. Porter
Yeah.
Jr. He's size.
I thought in that,
Yeah,
I
well,
thought
that's
in
what-
that
but
series,
that's what I mean. They
attacked him. MPJ.
they had
They didn't attack Jamal Murray. Remember, they were attacking MPJ.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe, but I would say more so of he's the younger guy versus he's like, I mean, they just have so much length Barton when it comes to their wings.
You named those 4 players, and Barton and MPJ are the only 2 players on that team now. Like, they don't got Torrey Craig, they don't got Jeremy Grant anymore.
Yeah.
Well,
What I'm just, I guess, specifically to your example of him being a liability, like
last
we'll
year,
we'll have to see what their philosophies change and look like, and maybe he takes a step back because people start targeting him a little bit. You know what I mean?
And maybe I am just that player that values defense a little bit more, but like, I just don't. I don't think Jamal Murray can really get up there unless he is not being as liable on defense. Like, I think about these players. Kyle Lowry can defend. Russell Westbrook can defend. Ja will try. We haven't been able to see him do crazy defense yet, but like, he's athletic. I'm sure that guy will be able to figure something out. And then Kyrie Irving, while he wasn't a great defender, like, it's not like you had teams. It's not like he was losing because of Kyrie Irving's defense.
And maybe you can say the same thing about Denver.
I don't think personally, right, as a point guard, like with your wings behind you and your bigs behind you, I don't think you need to be the best defender because we had a guy run our team for X amount of years and he was not known as a defender. And who's that? Tony. Tony was not. I mean, you're not saying Tony's going to lock down nobody because it was not the case. And most point guards, like you started naming everybody on that list, like name one.
Yeah, that's
like
known for their defense. Yeah.
Yeah, that's none of them point guards are known for their defense.
Well,
and I'm thinking about history right now. Maybe like Gary Payton, like that are lockdown defenders as point guards. Like, there's not many.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of what I was.
Right?
That's what I was trying to say.
Head to head with Spud in the playoffs last year, like he won those games for Denver, and even those games that he didn't win, he kept those competitive because they were throwing 40, 50 a night at each other, and he played damn good, man. Yeah. And I was one of those guys when they beat us in the playoffs, I was like, oh, dude, there's no way this guy's going off on us, right? And then he did it again the next year in the playoffs. I'm like, well, shit, he's just that guy then,
Yeah, I would agree. I'm pretty high on
yeah,
on
me
Murray.
too. Especially after last year. At first, I was kind of iffy, right? Just because he killed my Spurs, and I'm like, hell no, not this guy. But like after watching him, what he did last year, I'm like, dude, he's bomb.
Yeah. All right, Jake. We do want to get into our Memphis preview before tonight.
For sure.
For tonight. So it's cool. So are there any other things that you wanted to highlight from this list before we switch on over?
We'll go kind of quick here. Do y'all think who do y'all think is a little bit better, Karl Anthony Towns, or who they have being better is Bam Adebayo? Who do y'all think is a better center? Literally, you're kind of picking your poison of whether or not you want your defensive center or you want your offensive center, because Bam can do it all on defense, Cat can do it all on offense. So
Yeah,
like
well, today in today's NBA, I'll probably take offense.
you
Somebody
take
that
offense.
somebody that stretches the floor and shoots. And it's not like he doesn't play defense. He's still long as hell. He could block your shot. So he's
Well,
athletic. He's athletic.
for me, I honestly I could say that it's a lot easier to work on your offensive touches better than it is to be a better defender. And since Bam's already got that defense under his belt, like, he was already a solid playmaker. All he has to do is be able to stretch a little bit more and work, just work better on playmaking, which he's already good at. I think Bam is better than Cat, and or I think he will be better than Cat, because unless I see Cat be able to hold down an offensive center or an offensive beast like Joel Embiid or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think he'll be able to. I don't think he'll be able to hold his own in like the playoffs.
I mean, thinking about how he played leading up all the way up into the NBA Finals, he had a good series against the Celtics. You know what
Exactly.
I mean? And most of that stemming from him helping them out on the defensive end. I don't know. I think that is a good argument to have, like, who's better, because they do have different strengths. Cat is another one of those players that I'm just like waiting on. Like, all right, man, come on. Like, show me something. I know that he's gifted.
Young too. He's only 25 years old, man.
Yeah. So so I don't know. I mean, Bio's already showed that he can be a pivotal and an important part.
Drew's on, and Drew said that Cat is going to step up this season.
I did see that.
Yeah. So
all right. And he definitely could. We alluded to it a little bit. It's part of our conversations that got cut out of our first episode. Cat's got the number 1 draft pick on his team now. Edwards, and then who's D'Lo. So I mean, they got some pieces. I think this is the year. This is the year for a lot of teams that are on that bubble to see which way are you going to go. Are you gonna start headed in the right direction, or are you gonna start headed in the wrong direction? Spurs included. He also said Derek Bum. I think he was talking about Derek White, because I saw him talking some mess.
Me and him go back and forth, because I tell him all the time Kyle Kuzma is trash, and he tells me, well, Derek White is trash. So we're gonna see. I told him we'll see this season who steps up, because God, that guy Kuzma, that fool makes me mad. I just watch him play. I'm not even a Lakers fan. I watched the game last night. He just makes me mad. Mm-hmm. He does some dumb shit.
Yeah, okay. I can agree with that.
So very very last thing, which is obviously y'all see that Steph right here. They're saying that he's gonna be out of the top 5 this year, because they got Kawhi at 5, Harden at 4, Luka at 3, Giannis at 2, LeBron at 1. So
nope.
They got Luka taking Steph Curry's spot this year. And honestly, I can see it. I can see Luka's offensive game already like growing, and
so for somebody who was just so high on defense, but he threw Luka up there, and that guy plays no defense either.
I think Kawhi would end the season better than Luka, though. I don't think Kawhi should have been knocked down this low. I still feel like people kind of underestimate him. Now, to be fair, he did not play good in that Game 7 in the playoffs last year. But
that was because Pandemic P was bringing the whole squad down.
But also, like, I think, like, when you see somebody like Steph Curry, obviously he's coming back from injury, but, like, when they put somebody like Steph Curry where they put him, it's because they're taking into account, all right, is the team going to be very good? Is he going to be sitting out a lot because they're losing games? And I think Kawhi...
Like you saw last night, Steph sat a lot because they were getting killed.
And Kawhi, I think it's kind of the same thing, but on the other end, it's like, that rest and minute management is a thing that is, like, synonymous with his name now. So, top 5 for a guy who's going to play 75% amount of the time that everybody else is going to play, you know what I mean? I think that's pretty fair. It's not like knocking him too much to say he's a top 5.
I guess, in my opinion, that I just still feel like and we can kind of get into this just a little bit, but I still feel like Kawhi is better than James Harden.
Yeah, Kawhi is better than James Harden, easily.
So Drew says Kawhi's on a mission this season, no rest days.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean,
Maybe.
shoot, he needs to be. He just saw those guys across the street
Yep.
or across the locker room, win that championship, and they should have
I,
been
I
there.
will.
I was rooting for that LA Western Conference Finals, and damn, they let me down. But
Yeah,
we're gonna see, man. We're gonna see.
I will say.
really
I will say. I was pretty excited yesterday. No offense to the Lakers, man, because I enjoy no matter who wins. I love ring ceremony. I love the opening day. I love seeing whoever get their ring, and those rings were huge, man.
Yeah, they were. They were.
But I enjoyed a little bit of that chip on the shoulder of like, no, we're just gonna come into Staples Center and we're just gonna beat you on ring day. Like I enjoy that too. So
Yeah, I'm hoping San Antonio's there. I will always say every year I'm rooting for the San Antonio to win, but dang, if I would not mind that Western Conference Finals, that 7-game series, Lakers Clippers, like that would be fun stuff to watch, man.
yeah, I agree.
Especially like with the Lakers winning last year, and the Clippers coming back, for I'm not gonna say revenge because they didn't win shit, but it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good season,
I agree.
and I hope the Spurs win the championship.
I agree. All right, Jay, give us one more, and then we'll hop over to Memphis.
Okay. I guess we can kind of continue. I think.
Yeah, I think.
You kind of gave us the top 5, so I mean, like, I don't know.
They got Giannis at 2 and LeBron at 1. I don't think LeBron's gonna stay. I mean, I don't know. Like LeBron definitely, he made me have to shut my mouth for like a couple weeks straight because of how good that he's been playing.
Last night he didn't play too good. Personally, I didn't think he played that good last night.
Well, not last night, but I'm saying like like all last season, I was that one person that was saying Kawhi and Paul George are gonna win a ring over Anthony Davis and LeBron. It was, for me, it was too apparent that Kawhi and PG were gonna be able to do it, and LeBron and AD weren't. But then the playoffs happened, and I just had to shut my mouth because all season I was talking so much smack, just for the Clippers to lose like that. So
yeah,
I as much as I want to be a LeBron hater, like I don't know. Maybe he does keep his number 1 title this year.
See, I don't know. That's a little weird to me because just like I was saying, like maybe they take into account minutes and stuff. I feel like this is going to be the year where LeBron maybe takes a step back a little bit in terms of his minutes. But then again, maybe they feel like they can't yet because the surrounding characters for LA it's all right. It's all right.
I was watching the thing last night, and they were saying that they got better. I think TNT. They were saying they brought up those points.
Yeah,
and I don't think so because, well, it's just I think they're gonna miss Dwight, and I think they're gonna miss Rondo at some point during the season. Maybe they're gonna beat teams. They're gonna win. They have Anthony Davis. They got LeBron James. They're gonna win. Like Wesley Matthews. Like Wes Matthews. Like I don't know.
If he's consistent, he looks slimmer last night. He looked like he's in good shape.
And did he have a good game? I honestly can't remember.
No, he didn't have a good game. But
yeah,
at the same time, like and
Gasol looks heavy still in this NBA. Gasol still looks heavy. Like, yeah, they did get good pieces. Montrez played fucking great. I wish he would have played like that last year for the Clippers, but he played great for the Lakers last night. Yeah, just get your bell back. Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, like if Wes Matthews and this is no hate towards Danny Green, but if Wes Matthews can just put up like 2 more points than Danny Green could, like
yeah, but for the points that he would put up, Danny Green saved a lot of the points. Nobody talks about his defense. Danny Green still plays good defense, and I know the Lakers fans
is a good defender too.
Lakers fans were bashing that dude last year. Man, it was funny watching some of the comments on that guy. I was watching like Snoop Dogg go out on that dude, but I feel bad
like
for
specifically in between those 2 games in the finals, right?
Yeah, he's always a spur to me. So shout out Danny Green.
Yeah,
come back. You come back and fun.
All right. Speaking of Spurs, let's get back to the topic at hand. Let's start to look at our matchup tonight versus Memphis. So real quick, I am going to let's see. I'm gonna take that back. Let's bring up some of the roster of Memphis roster. And let's just kind of see, we'll just keep it on the screen so we can kind of see it out in front of us. But all right, so this is our competition for tonight. Let's see if Devin starts. Jay gets lead podcast right.
No.
Yeah. We'll see.
Never.
We'll see on that. All right, so let's see. We can start offensively. We can start defensively. Let me double check to see if we've got a starting lineup tweeted out. I don't think we do. But do you want to? Let's talk. All right, so based off of what we're seeing here, Memphis's roster, what we know they're going to bring. What do we have to do to kind of be successful against these guys offensively, right? So looking at what they bring to the table defensively, like how do we feel like we're gonna have to spread them out? We're gonna have to what do you guys think?
Slow down, John Morant. I mean that's the guy that's gonna get everything going. If we could slow him down, do I think we contain him? Contain him? No, but you slow that guy down, and hopefully. And Dillon Brooks, huh? We'll see. But hopefully, if we slow him down, hopefully nobody else gets going. Hopefully he doesn't get those people going. Hopefully he doesn't make those highlight plays that we talked about last episode to get his teammates. Because once he gets one of those big dunks, those big alley oops, everything starts going for everybody. You know how that goes. I mean, it just happens like that. So yeah, I'm hoping that if we slow him down, hopefully everybody else could get slowed down as well.
One thing to note is that Jaren Jackson is not playing tonight. If I'm correct, he's not playing tonight. He has he's out for like the next couple weeks. So
that's a big blow.
Yeah,
it is.
It's a big blow for them. It's a big ups for us.
Yeah, so then you should probably anticipate a lot more of some Valanciunas
and Job.
Yeah, whoever.
Yeah. I would agree. Jaws the head of the snake. I think we went to a game last year versus Memphis, or was it last year or the year before? No, it was last year.
Yeah.
It was kind of one of those ugly games. Neither team was playing that well, and then I think they got like 2 or 3 good plays to go towards Jackson, for probably spurred right from Morant, and literally it was like those couple plays just kind of like turned the tide a little bit, and we really didn't. I'm pretty sure it was a game that we lost.
Yeah, we lost a lot of games last year.
Yeah, so I definitely see that. I wonder how the crowd not being a factor, or there being no crowd, how some of those like momentum plays, if they mean less. You know what I mean? Last night was a little hard to tell because one of the games was a blowout, and the other one they crept back a little. But I mean, I want to see.
Lead
exactly. So I want to see like. Now that we're at the home arenas and it's more of like we're out of the bubble. The bubble just felt like such a confined, isolated thing that like now that we're into this new thing, like, are we going to still see a lot of those momentum plays? Are we going to see a lot of that kind of stuff? And a young team like Memphis and probably San Antonio would feed off a lot of that stuff. So, I agree. All right. So I don't know what's going to be our plan of attack to
Honestly, it's the fact that like I'm trying to think about it here, and like other than like a player like Tyus Jones or our old Spur Kyle, their defense is just not as good as what you would expect. Dillon Brooks is not a crazy defender. Ja is still young, like he's still gonna make his inexperienced mistakes going against somebody on defense. And Justice Winslow's pretty good. And Jonas is okay at defending. But I think that if we can get our offense rolling against like their wings and their guards a little bit better, then honestly we should have a pretty good time of just being able to keep up with them. Like
we got to hit shots. We have to hit shots.
We have
to hit shots, because if not, when that ball hits that rim and John Morant's coming downhill, he's going to put us in foul trouble. He's going to lay up. It's like we have to hit shots. If we don't, we better get our asses back on defense, because the job
turns into like easy buckets. Yeah,
easy buckets and wide open shots. Because Ja, as much as he dunks and as much as he gets to that rim, he can pass the ball too. So he's going to find somebody, and And I would hate for somebody else to get going and then Ja get going as well and put us that much in,
Yeah.
we'll be in trouble,
No, I definitely agree, and I think that is going to be a key for us is limiting the easy buckets, because if I'm looking at the roster, I mean, not too much jumps out at me of like, all right, this guy can burn us, this guy can burn us. Not unless we give them the opportunity, right? Not unless we give them that platform, and we've done it before, like kind of like you just said, man. You give Ja Morant one good drive to the basket, kicks it out to some dude, and that just kind of sparks his run. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and man, I know we're biased being Spurs fans, but it's like it feels like every time, like, okay, we're playing Memphis, that means that all of a sudden Grayson Allen's gonna pop up for 18 points tonight. Then we go to the next town and somebody who's their 10th man, their 12th man just pops out for another 15 points. You know what I mean? So it definitely can happen, but I feel pretty confident. I know everybody's on that first game high, but when I know we got to stop Ja Morant. I mean, especially with Jaren Jackson being out of the lineup. I think this is a prime opportunity for us to come in and get a win, which is what we need, especially in the West. And like you said earlier, with division matchups, like everything is ramped up to another level in terms of its importance. You know what I mean? Just because of how tight the conference is going to be. So I mean, I think same. I think we definitely need to be hitting shots. Let me real quick. I'm gonna stop sharing, and then I'm gonna pull up the Spurs roster just so I kind of have it in front of me. But man, we still. I was hoping we would get a
lineup. Yeah, but it's still early. We still got
yeah.
For another hour.
Yeah, it's 5:50, so we got an hour and 10 minutes until tip off. But all right, so let me bring the let me bring our guys up real quick.
While you're doing that, I'm just gonna say I had Christian Wood in my lineup for fantasy basketball, and now I just had to take him out because he's day to day.
Dang.
Because of the Rockets.
Yeah, I was gonna say their game got postponed anyways. Oh my God! I hope that does not happen this year.
I mean, now thinking about like the NFL season, I didn't watch too much MLB, but I mean, I felt like they were canceling games a lot, or postponing games. But I mean, it is going to be tough. I think it would be fair, or it should be in your head that there's going to be games that get moved around, and the Spurs probably going to get. The Spurs are probably going to get affected by that at some point. I don't think it'll be because of like self-inflicted wounds, like our players being careless and breaking rules and stuff like that. I do like the stance that the NBA has taken in terms of like how strict they're trying to be with some of those things. Homeboy getting thrown out of the bubble last year, I think was great. Like, you know what I mean? Like you set the rules up, and then if you don't follow them, then we're just gonna have to take you out. I mean, how many times we saw this year in the NFL? It was the same team over and over again. It was maybe the Vikings or the Steelers or the
Baltimore, right?
Baltimore.
Yeah, where it was just like the same. Like it was like at some point you got to be thinking like, all right, man, like should we just penalize this team for them not taking this seriously? You know what I mean? And you can think what you want to think about the virus or any of that kind of stuff, but I mean,
James Harden be kicked out for visiting them strip clubs.
Yeah, but exactly, and even since a little bit before we got on here, I think their game got pushed back because of the Rockets not having enough players. So I mean, it's like if you're running an organization that has to make $1 million decisions on a weekly basis. You have to have less. You got to have less leeway, and the players. I think they should realize that too. I mean, most of them are, or not most of them, but a big portion of them are making a lot of that money, that comes from those decisions. So it's like you got to be. I'm hoping we see the fraternity that the NBA always kind of talks about. They showed a lot of it during last year with their banding together with the whole Black Lives Matter message and just trying to have like a unified stance on an issue. Well, this is another issue that we're dealing with right now. The pandemic is not over, and so hopefully I'm hoping that we'll see some unity in terms of how everybody tries to approach it. You know what I mean? And we're definitely hoping that none of the Spurs games or none of the players in general just have to get affected by it, especially when it comes to health. So all right, so looking at our guys, yeah, I mean, I feel pretty confident. I feel like we're longer than them. Even when we're talking about just having DJ out there, DJ and Vassell. I don't know how much KJ is going to play, but I mean, I feel like we're going to be able to defend pretty well. I think we'll probably have a team effort in trying to defend Jean Morant. I'm super anxious to see what is our approach going to be like with having LA out there shooting them threes. I feel pretty good. I would go on record saying I'm pretty sure we're gonna get a win tonight. And Drew, you're asking about Lonnie starting. We haven't seen that yet. We don't know this. We don't know the official starting lineup for tonight's game. But with KJ coming back from injury, I wouldn't be surprised if Lonnie took the starting spot and KJ came off the bench. I will say I can't remember if this was in episode 1. I don't think it was. I think it was just something that we were talking about in between in our text chats and all that kind of stuff. But Jake was talking about putting Lonnie on that on that second unit and kind of having him have a bigger offensive role, but on the second unit. And I think after seeing a little bit of the preseason, I'm leaning a little bit more towards that too. I think I would like to have him be, okay, we want you to step up, but we're going to have you step up with Patty as your point guard, with Rudy out there as your 3 or 4, with Yak, in there as the down low or whatever. So like that's kind of where I stand. So I would be okay with him moving into the bench once KJ kind of gets a little bit more healthy. What do you guys think about, like, I don't know, what do you think our starting line is gonna be for tonight? How do you think we're gonna fare tonight? Whoever wants to go first.
Yeah, I say number, like we talked about episode 1. Like my starting lineup was DJ, Lonnie, DeMar, LA, and Yak, and I think that's how we're gonna go today. Like with what I'm looking at here, I don't know if I'm hoping that KJ gets a lot of minutes. I don't know if he's healthy, is what I was trying to say. Yeah. I'm hoping that he's healthy enough to play big time minutes, because I would love to see KJ and Devin on the floor together with that second unit. I want Keldon to be that guy that you were saying, to score off that second unit with Patty, to run like that. That's what I would like him to do, I guess, at first, maybe this game, and we'll see going forward who's going to step up, because we're going to need somebody to step up this year, because last year it didn't work. Somebody's going to have to step up big time. I hope it's Trey. Trey Lyles, that guy, he didn't do too much in the preseason as well. We were talking about preseason earlier. He needs to start hitting, man, because he gets some good shots. He gets some wide open shots. He had some wide open threes, like wide open. I'm like, dude, you got to knock those down for us to be successful. And I'm hoping that it's just the preseason. I'm hoping that during the season those start falling, because if they do, with Trey hitting those threes and LA hitting those threes, and hopefully Lonnie and DJ could start shooting better than Derek. Like, we have some shooters, potentially good shooters, and I'm hoping, and the Rook too, because he looked knocked down. So
yeah, I would agree with Trey, especially because like I had him in my starting lineup at in our first episode, and he definitely got roasted a little bit online for his performance in the preseason, and there I would say there was I think it was the game that we kind of got blown out. I think it was it the last game. Mm-hmm. He started to finally catch a little bit of rhythm towards like the third, going into the fourth, because he played a decent amount of time with the garbage minutes roster out there. But so I'm hoping that his rhythm comes around. Yeah, because I would agree. We're gonna need him. We're gonna need him and LA and Rudy, and I would even say Drew. They need to be out there producing positive minutes all the time, and everybody's positive minutes will look a little different based off of their skills and all that kind of stuff. But we need positive influences on our offense every time that they're on the floor. And sometimes Lyles gives us, like, I wouldn't say negative, but I would definitely say like a net 0.
Yeah, which and like the preseason, honestly, I felt like I was watching a different player out there, because whenever I watched Trey last year, and this was one of the reasons why I really liked having him as my 4 from last podcast, was because, like, last season he wasn't doing everything. He was just he ran out there, he would shoot the ball, like he would just stay stationary, get his little picks in, but he was more off ball on the offense. In the preseason, you saw it, like it's like those same plays that we would run with Jakob, where he gets the ball at the top of the key and he runs, dribbles, passes it, or he drives, right, or he shoots, whatever the option would be for Trey. Like he would do the same, like Jakob would do the same thing, except for Jakob wouldn't shoot. And I think we're just trying to give him a new role, and I feel like that's just taking time for him to adjust. Like he's taking more off the dribble shots instead of being a pick and popper, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so
no, I could see that. I could see that. So I'm hoping that in time.
yeah, I'd still love to see my like I'd love to see my starting lineup out there of DJ, Devin, DeMar, Trey, or not Jakob, LaMarcus. But as it's gone on, I am expecting to see Lonnie fit in there instead of Devin to start off today.
I think, and we haven't got him yet, but I think if we went, so I think probably what Josh said, right? I think we're all in agreement. So it would be DJ, DeMar, Lonnie, Rudy in LA, or who did you say?
I said Trey in LA.
I think LA and Jakob start.
Oh, okay. So I think we all have four of them, and then like Josh would say Yak, Jake would say Trey. I might lean towards. I wouldn't be surprised if they put Yak in there. Well, with Jackson out, maybe we start Rudy, or sorry, maybe we start Trey. Yeah.
What was that lineup in the preseason? That weird lineup that'll. Hey, Drew said he'll give us Kuzma for DeMar straight up. I'm gonna go ahead and take a hard pass on that.
No, that's a big no. Every time I see like Spurs were in trade talks with Kuzma, and it's like, okay, we if any team can make Kuzma into what we need him to be, it could be the Spurs. Same thing with like Andrew Wiggins. Like I was like, okay, like we're talking about trading our pick to try to get the number 2 pick or whatever. And then like I saw Andrew Wiggins play for like 3 minutes, and I was like, all right, I'm glad we didn't do that shit.
No, dude, I was so sad when I watched him play last night. I've been such a huge believer in Andrew Wiggins, and last night was such a sad.
And same for Kuzma, man. When Kuzma goes out there, I'm like, okay, I'm glad we didn't get him either.
like as much as I love our system, some people just are not meant to grow. And it's sad.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Does anybody have anything else to add? Or I think we've kind of I think we're ready to go. I think we're ready for.
I'm ready to watch this game. We got an hour, just an hour.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
I'm gonna leave this up. I'm gonna put this one up real quick, just because Drew's been hating all day, so I want to throw something up.
That's
all right, so that's going to kind of wrap up our talks for today. I do want to, well, first of all, I think we've kind of had steady about like 8 to 10 people watching this whole hour. Shout out to you guys. Thanks to Drew and PJ Harwin jumping in the chat a little bit. We do plan on being here more often. So matter of fact, our final things that we kind of want to talk and kind of plug a little bit. So tonight for this first game, what we're going to be doing is Jacob's actually going to be taking over our Twitter timeline for the night. So he's just going to be giving his in-game reactions. I'm not sure if he's going to be starting during pregame or whatnot, but just be checking out that Twitter timeline at Heroes Half Court. You see it scrolling down there on the bottom of the screen. But it'll be Jake's word for tonight, as much or as little as he wants to be tweeting. So if you see something that you like, you want to give it a like or a retweet, go ahead and do that. If you think it's a garbage take or if you just wholeheartedly disagree with what he's saying, well, then go ahead and do that as well. But Jake's going to be running our Twitter account for tonight. We do plan, as the year goes on, to just have other days. Hey, we're playing the Lakers tonight. Josh is going to be taking over the timeline. So we have one Twitter account, and we are all Spurs fans, but I think we are all different in terms of the things that we enjoy about basketball, or the things that we kind of hold important in terms of team success or whatever. So as a way to kind of give a little bit of that and see a little bit of like how we differ from each other, we're gonna give each other some opportunities to just like take over for that. So Jake will be on the Twitter for tonight. Go give us a follow. Go give us a look at our Twitter and hang out with Jake for the evening as we get ready for this first game. And then And then lastly this is our first live episode, but we are hoping that this is our first of many. So our next scheduled video is going to be on Sunday, this upcoming Sunday, which is the 27th. At the 27th at 10 a.m.
Mike, what's up, Mike?
There you go. At 10 a.m. this next Sunday on the 27th is when we're going to have our next video come up. So how we're going to be setting this up, guys, is we are going to our goal is to kind of get you right for the next week in terms of what's going to be happening for the Spurs. All right. So kind of like how today we did take a step backwards and look at our preseason stuff. Let's see. Does that mean I have to see Jake tweet about his disdain for DeJounte Murray all night?
Yes, sir.
It wholeheartedly depends on how many turnovers this guy gets.
Yep, that's exactly.
As soon as I see that first mid-air throw into a pile of nothing, I'll be looking on the TL to see if Jake shows up.
That's exactly what it's gonna be.
But yes. So go ahead, Jake. Go ahead.
I'm gonna be a mix of the unofficial Devin Vassell fan club and
Oh my God, this guy.
and the let's see what DeJounte Murray can do show. So
Yeah, there you go.
watch out for that.
Yeah, so be ready to yell at Jake on Twitter if you want to.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Everybody.
the 27th, 2 days after Christmas, what we're going to be doing is we're going to start by talking about the game that happened the night before, which will be Spurs versus Toronto on the 26th, and then we are going to preview the games that are going to be happening that week. So Sunday through the following Saturday. So I believe there should be a New Orleans game that night on the 27th. So we'll talk about that one. We'll talk about the two games that they have against the Lakers, and then they might have a fourth game. I can't remember. I don't have the schedule in front of me. But we're gonna be and that's gonna be our rhythm that we're gonna try to get into. We're gonna try to be live with you guys every Sunday at 10 a.m. For a little early morning Spurs talk and get you guys right for the week that's to come. Okay, so kind of like what we did today, we will be tweaking the format again. This is only our second show, only our first show in this current format. So some things will look the same next week, some things will look different. The segments might move order around a little bit if we don't like the way it flowed. We're 100% open to adapting the show and tweaking it to be more suitable for the way that we want to see it, and also for the way that that the audience kind of gears towards. So if you guys have any opinions on how we ran the show today, good or bad, leave them in Facebook, leave them on the Periscope Twitter account. We want to hear from you guys. Loved the fact that we had some people in here live. So we're gonna try to just keep growing.
Cool, man. Shout out, guys.
Yeah, we're gonna keep trying to grow our live audience. We're gonna keep trying to grow our just in general overall audience. Thanks to anybody who's we've been engaged in some NBA talks on the Twitter account, gained some new followers there. So we're excited for the growth that we've had. In this short amount of time. So, is there anything you guys wanna say before we sign off?
No, man. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the let's see, audio. Drew's been in here. Shout out Drew, right? He's been in here like the whole time. Yeah. I'm trying to read. I'm trying to talk to y'all guys. It's been fun, man. Episode 2 has been great. It's cool kicking it with my brothers, talking about Spurs basketball, talking about everything. We ran through a list today of players, talk some Lakers ball, talk some of this, talk some of that about Denver. So it's good, man. It's fun. I'm excited. Hopefully keep this going, and hopefully we'll get this dub tonight.
Heck yeah.
1-0, start off the season right, and I'm ready, man.
Jake?
Yeah, I do want to, it is amazing to see like all the people that are on the videos and stuff, because like y'all are the start of this, even though it is just us three on the camera, like y'all are going to be a part of the start, like forever, like it's not like it was only me and my two brothers.
This guy.
It's not like it's just gonna be us three, like, moving forward without y'all, like, it's great to know that we have our full support from all you guys that are watching us right now.
Yeah, and I think that like our goal, one of our goals is to kind of keep pushing more and more people to talk about the Spurs and to kind of see the Spurs in a little bit of a different way. Bring as much research or as much try to have some informed opinions along the way. But I think another thing is, like Josh said, we really enjoy the idea of being able to kind of hang out with our family and bond through this means, right? So you guys kind of coming in and sparking those chats and stuff like that, like it kind of breeds that community. And so we're starting this as a family, but I would love for this to kind of just grow into a much bigger like Spurs community or just basketball community in general.
For sure, yeah.
Super excited for this episode
Except
too.
for LeBron fans.
Very excited for this second episode that we got a chance to get through. We've been planning this stuff since like last September, so to see it finally get to episode 1 a week and a half ago, and then now we're on episode 2. I'm excited it's just going to get better and better. So asking about straight audio or Google Podcasts. As of right now, we're going to be doing the video kind of like we're doing now. But the change for next week, and thanks for reminding me, Drew, the change for next week is we will also be live at 10 a.m. on YouTube as well. Okay, so we'll be live on Facebook, we'll be live on Twitter, Periscope, and we will be live on YouTube on all three at the same time. So whatever your preferred method, I know me, I've been watching, YouTube's been my primary source of TV watching since like 2013 or 14. So if that's how you roll, then join us on YouTube. If Facebook's how you roll, join us there. Twitter, then Periscope's the way to go. So we want to try to be as accessible as possible. In terms of doing like an audio only, that we might look into that, but I think a little later down the road. So I think that's it, man. It is 6:09. That means we are less than an hour away, which means we should be getting some starting lineups. We should be getting some Bill and Sean.
Dude, I keep checking my phone. I'm like, what's the deal? I want to see who starts.
Exactly. We should be getting some Bill and Sean pregame stuff going up pretty soon. So I'm so excited. I got enough time to go and decorate my couch a little bit and get my Patty Mills rags out and everything like that. So. I feel like right as I was about to sign off, I saw it, but no. doesn't look like it. I think that's it, man. I think we're ready to go. So Fiesta jerseys tonight. It'll be fun to see the new court. Fun to see the new jerseys. So all right.
Is that tonight?
Yeah, they announced a couple
tonight.
days ago that they're gonna Patty Mills coffee. I don't know what that means.
He's a coffee. Him and Boris and Manu, they all drink their coffee.
Yeah. Okay.
The coffee club.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I get you. I don't drink coffee, so whatever.
Oh, I love it. I'll drink a cup.
Go Spurs, go. That's it. All right, guys. I think that's it. So thank you for joining us on episode 2, and be ready for episode 3 on the 27th. All right. Thank you, guys. Go Spurs, go. Let's get this W. Peace.